There was a great 1960s philosopher. He said something along the lines of, Spider-Man, Spider-Man. He does whatever a spider can. He spins a web and he sighs and he catches thieves just like flies. Look out! Here comes Tom Holland.
Oh my God,
Spider-Man has swung back into theaters, and he has brought with him a historic $50 million North American haul. That's just from Thursday previews, baby. That's not even the global $200 million it's already pre-sold. This is a brand new day. But we're not just here to talk about box office grosses. A lot of terrible films have huge box office returns. We're here to ask the question, is the film actually good? The answer? In a minute. I'm Mr. Agitator, lead singer-songwriter of Visforvillains. And I'm here to dissect Spider-Man Brand New Day. As always, if you could do me a favor, like, subscribe, follow, and throw a comment on this video, that would be much appreciated. I just want to relay, I love Spider-Man. I love the character. I've been following the lore since I was a little boy. One of my favorite aspects of Spider-Man is his rogues gallery. He has an amazing set of villains, just like Batman. Spider-Man Brand New Day was directed by Destin Daniel Cretton. It was produced by Amy Pascal, Aviara, Kevin Feige. Michael Giacchino does the score, returning from the previous 3 films. If you're a fan of Spider-Man and films in general, there's a whole lot to love. Is this a perfect film? Is this the best Spider-Man movie ever made? Probably. Let me elaborate. But before doing so, I just want to warn you, we're going into spoiler territory. Spider-Man Brand New Day stars Tom Holland as Peter Parker Spider-Man, reprising his role from Spider-Man No Way Home, Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man Homecoming, Captain America Civil War, Avengers, Infinity. He's played Spider-Man a lot. He's everything that I thought Peter Parker would be when I was a kid. I don't think you can do any better casting than Tom Holland for this role. Next, we have Zendaya as MJ, not Mary Jane. She does just the right amount. They used her just enough. Honestly, much better than Mary Jane, in my opinion. At least, film Mary Jane. I like comic book Mary Jane. Kirsten Dunst. Oh man, her character was just insufferable through that entire trilogy. And I don't want to hear anything about Michelle Jones being the worst character. That's just complete and utter dreck. Let me tell you something.
Mary Jane, will you marry me? Mary Jane! Why did you do that?
To prove to myself that you'll always be there for me when it really counts. You will.
Mary Jane is a psycho. His life's imploding, man.
Hi.
Oh, you.
And this kid loses his job, he loses his family home.
This place in your budget?
His uncle dies, and Mary Jane, who's supposed to be the love of his life, best friend, etc., is just like, how dare you miss my play?
I'll never forget that.
By the way, John has seen my show 5 times. Harry has seen it twice. Aunt May has seen it. My sick mother got out of bed to see it.
I mean, my favorite ending of that original trilogy, in my mind, is like Peter dumps her ass and starts dating Ursula from across the hall. I don't think you can appropriately talk about Brand New Day unless you have the context of the original films. That's one of the things that's to its detriment. If you don't go into this film knowing a whole lot about Spider-Man films, especially, you're probably going to be pretty lost. You've probably seen Spider-Man, and you probably know who he is. How many times can you watch Bruce Wayne's parents get shot?
Gonna visit me in jail, Batman. My parents.
What? Parents?
Dead parents.
We know they got shot. After a completely fumbled retelling of the Uncle Ben origin story and The Amazing Spider-Man.
Got him!
We don't need it again. We don't need it. Let it go. Is it all contrived? I don't know, man, but you know what? That's comic books, baby. If you don't know anything about comic books, that's some of the most contrived literature you're ever going to read. Comic book fans are always like walking around like, it's not like the books. But then the problem is, if it is like the books, then it's the most confusing crap you've ever read in your life. Jacob Batalon returns as Ned Leeds. Our three leads are so at home in these characters that they could probably play them in their sleep at this point. John Bernthal's Punisher, really doing a lot of work here. Frank Castle is not a one-note character. He has all this rage, he has all this angst, he has all this aggression, but he can also be a street-level hero at times too, who is really emotional and really cares about the people that he loves. One Mark Ruffalo returned as Bruce Banner, aka the Incredible Hulk. I loved seeing Hulk in this film. We've had Intelligent Hulk for so long that it was really nice to get back to the roots and see a good old Hulk smash. There was this great scene in the middle of the film. He's fielding questions from his students, and he's a professor, and it's so true to life, man. That is absolutely what happened. These kids would be like, tell me about Thanos. Tell me about Black Widow. Tell me everything. Tell me everything, my professor's the Hulk! He kind of says, all right, what's the answer to that? And a student of his stands up, he's painted green, it's cute, he's painted, it looks like the Incredible Hulk. So it says, Hulk smash! And I'm like sitting there going, Hulk smash! Ah! The Hulk, he did in fact smash. That sounds bad. Anyway, you've got Tremel Tillman, who comes straight off of Severance. And I can 100% see why they picked him up to be the department head for damage control based on that performance alone. And we had Michael Mando playing Scorpion. He has always been kind of a C-string character in the Spider-Man comic books. I really bought him as Scorpion, and I thought he did a good job of playing Scorpion on the street, and he did a good job of playing Scorpion whose mind is being taken over. Side note, if you're a Scorpion in the streets, then you better be a Spider-Man in the sheets.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what that means. This film had it all. This film did it all. It threw in everything, even the Sadie Sink. And who did Sadie Sink play? If you ask the internet who she played, they're going to tell you Madam Web, Black Cat, Thor, Spider-Man, Batman, Thanos, Death, Firestar, Mary Jane, Michelle, she's Peter, who knows, alternate worlds, mother... Oh! No, but for real, she's Jean Grey. And that's fine, that works okay. She did a great job. I really like her as a young Jean Grey. I think even with some character changes, it worked. The largest shout out to Marissa Tomei's Aunt May. I absolutely loved her in this film, and I'm so glad that they found a tasteful way to bring her back. Yes, there's a Black Widow cameo. Love her. She's fantastic. Nails it as always. And I think they're setting up Spider-Man's inclusion in the new Avengers. Spider-Man is going through some heavy changes. He's becoming more spider than man. Now, the film hints that this is to do with his isolation from other human beings. In the comic books, that wasn't quite the case. He grew 6 arms and he had 2 legs. He was an arachnid for a while. He's lost his personal identity. His ex-girlfriend, Michelle, does not know who he is anymore. If you didn't catch Spider-Man No Way Home, you're going to be lost in the beginning of this film. And that's part of the problem. And that is the whole change in Peter's physiology. My only issue with it really was that it felt like a story that was picked up and kind of dropped off with no conclusion or resolution. And I understand that story will be told in other films, but as a singular film, I think it kind of hurts the movie a little bit. And I say that because we want that resolution. We want to know what this means for our character. It relies a little too heavily on what came before. And that makes it a great Spider-Man film. And makes it a little off as a film. There wasn't a really strong central villain. Now, Jean Grey is well and good. Her abilities were very, very well shown on the screen, the best we've ever seen. But once it is revealed who she is, well, you're not as afraid of her or what's going to happen with her. Someone who knows that they're setting up overarching storylines that are going to come and pay off later, the threat of it kind of goes away. And I will say, to this film's credit, it does defy convention a lot. It is dark, gritty, grounded, and realistic. You know, in every other Spider-Man film, he has a tendency to jump out of the way while the villain kills themselves. Oh. In this film, he has a tendency to jump into the line of fire and take a bullet for the villain, so that's Math. Now, let's talk about everything that the film got right, which was 99.9% of it. The costume. That's Spider-Man. What a perfect suit. If you're going to the films to see the suit, and that's a big part of it for you, is seeing these characters in their traditional costumes, you can do no better than the costume in this film. That's Spider-Man. So this film has the Herculean task of juggling like 5 storylines. Jean Grey's searching for her lost sister. Spider-Man trying to reconnect with his humanity. And then there's Michelle Jones and there's Ned Leeds. 2 characters who I think really hold the core and the heart of this film. Every time you see Peter around them wanting to tell them who he is and not being able to, you really feel it for this kid who's isolated and alone since the death of his aunt. I'm not going to go into every single detail and nitty gritty. I'm just going to say the action is fantastic. It is one of the best Spider-Man films. The only reason I'm not saying it is the best Spider-Man film, it has to have the other pieces to really, truly play. Can you walk into this without any Spider-Man lore? Yes. Will you enjoy it? Probably. I think so. But you're also going to have a lot of questions. You're going to be looking at your friend who's got the Spider-Man suit on, and it is me under there. I'm sitting there going like, but you're going to be looking at him going like, why doesn't she know who he, like, Scorpion? Is he? No, we would never explain it. Marvel films are beloved properties that have been seen by billions of people. I think you're going to have a hard time finding that most of the room wouldn't understand it. I think most people will. Go see it for yourself. Personally, I think Spider-Man 2, Sam Raimi's from 2004, there was just nothing like it. It's a great film. I would put this pretty much right next to it. I can't say which one is the better. It's hard for me to choose, but this is pretty damn close. Right next to that, I would put No Way Home. These 3 films, I think that's Spider-Man. Anyway, now it's time to wrap all this up, and I'm going to tell you, Spider-Man Brand New Day gets a Super A. Super A. Love it. Great film, great action, jaw-dropping effects, really tight writing, fantastic score that has aged just as well as the characters have. Go see this film. Love it. I'm Mr. Agitator, lead singer-songwriter of Visforvillains, and until next time, I'm telling you that I hope you have a fantastic brand new day.